Introducing PerformOEE Smart Factory software from OEE Systems International. So in this presentation, I'm going to bring you through the main features of PerformOEE. So to start off, I'm just going to log into the software. And the very first screen that lands me in is a screen that we call Plantwatch. And Plantwatch is a screen that gives me an overview of all my work centers and what the current status is of those work centers. So I can see, for example, at the top here, it says filling 68%. So my filling area, which is comprised of 3 machines, is currently running at an OEE, or 3 lines is running at a current OEE of 68% so far for today. So this screen here is typically used by your maintenance supervisors, your production supervisors, your production manager, maybe your team leads, to give them an overall view of what's happening on the lines that they are responsible for. And in here, just looking at a bit more detail, I can see that on filler 3, it's green, which means we are exceeding our OEE target. The red icon here means that the line is currently down, and we can see that it's down currently for a check wear failure, and it's been down for the last 2 minutes. I can see that we're making this 100 size product, and this is the total product count that we've made so far today. You have the ability to configure short interval control reports and access those short interval control reports. So many companies use that for actually reviewing in line with the frontline team, you know, what the current status is. Then I have a breakout of my APQ for today, and then underneath then is I can see how my performance, how the line is actually performing throughout the day. So this line here represents my production output minute by minute. Where the production goes to 0, that's obviously a downtime, which I'll show you in a bit more detail in a minute. And then underneath you can see our top 5 losses for today so far. That's my loss Pareto, and so on. So I can see all my work centers there, or whatever work centers I've got access to actually view. And this icon here, this purple icon here, or blue icon, represents a CPC, which I'll also show you later. Just on the left hand side, so we're in Plantwatch. There's also an order search screen. The order search screen, so some people use this software as an MES system, and because it will track all your orders throughout time. So, you know, you can see the area, the work center, your transaction number or order number, their shift date, the shift team, what time you started, finished the order, and then other information that may be relevant to you against that particular order. Now, what you can actually do is you can actually click into that particular order. And when I click into one of those orders, so if I take filler 3 here, and I can expand that and just look at more information against it. But I can also click in, and this will bring me into the order detail screen. So if you remember back on the Plantwatch screen, when we were looking at our lines, we could see that this was down for a check wear failure. When I click in this green tick box again, that will bring me back into this order detail screen. There's my check wear failure, and I can see it's now been down for the last 4 minutes, 34 seconds. Also, I can see against this, show me my instructions as to how to address this problem. You can also link it to a video, or you can link it to a PDF. So a video, you can click in, it will give me instructions around that video. And, you know, likewise, I can click in a PDF in that. So you can do that kind of stuff that people use for learning. This order detail screen, or the operator interface, really is used primarily by the operator. And it's kind of order specific. So when I look at the top here, this is saying it's filler 3. Shift team A represents what shift is currently running. So you can tell the system your shift patterns, your work schedule, and the system will automatically take that into account. And you can get OEE analysis by shift or by product or even by batch. This is my batch number or my order number here. This is my start and my finish time of this particular batch. Down here again, this is another view of my production line. And there you can see my blue, which is highlighting what my issues were. So here I had problems with the bottles not capping. Over here we had another issue with caps stuck in track, and so on. And you can zoom in and zoom out on this particular detail down here. On the left hand side, there's my APQ for this particular order, my availability, performance, and quality. Underneath, I got a count summary, so it's telling me that we plan against this order here. We plan to make 190,000 units. So far, we've made 98,000 units, 98.7 thousand units. This is across all the shifts that we've been running across multiple lines, which means we've got to go 91,000. And so far in this particular shift, for this order, we've made 24,000. We've rejected 17 units, so there's pretty much no quality loss here. Then underneath then here, it's giving me a breakout of all my losses. So you can see there are machines set up. In fact, if we go back here to the 6-hour view and scroll left, I should see my machine setup on the left. There's my machine setup. My row is slow running, and then I have all my unplanned downtime here. So when because this line is currently down for check wear, And let's just say, for example, the operator followed these instructions here and brings the line back running. When the line goes back running, that alarm will clear, and this line here will then go back into a running state. So when it goes back into running state, now it's back running, you will start seeing this begin to count up again on the left-hand side because we're now back running. And in the system, you can set your downtime restart rules around what determines when the line is actually back up and running. I can also see here that the line is running at 92% of its capable speed. If somebody turned down the speed of that machine on the equipment itself, the system will pick up that it's now running 64% speed and it's now running slow. So yet again, if I go back to my Plantwatch screen, I'll see back on my Plantwatch screen, there's now a warning against this line that the line is now running slow. So I'm just going to ask them to turn the speed of that machine back up. They've turned it back up, and that should begin to clear again and should go back up to 97%, and all is now good. Just some other things to note against the operator interface. Over here, you're able to record notes, which can be order specific or they can be downtime specific. You're able to record actions, which can also be order specific or downtime specific. Yet again, you're able to access your SIC, your short interval control report. You can also get things like a detailed downtime detail. So this is a detailed downtime log as to what's been happening on this order. So there's my complete timeline. And down here, then I can see all my events that have happened. So I'm just looking at 1 to 10 or 17, but I can obviously page that. You can also see here what my losses are. And on the right hand side, then you can see what alarm was raised on the PLC, for example, causing that original alarm and so on. And if I scroll down, then I get another Pareto of it. Also here on the left hand side, you have the ability to look at your downtime reassigns. If there's multiple downtimes to reassign, you can do that. So if I go back into the order detail screen here, and I want to reassign a downtime from one reason to another. So if I take, for example, my bottles blocks placed in tunnel, I'm able to click on this blocks placed in tunnel. And if I want to, I can split this downtime, but I'm not going to do that in this case. I'm just going to reassign this to say that was actually a sensor issue. And the sensor issue, we had a centered in-feed fill machine, save that. Likewise, when a downtime reason comes in, like machine stopped, you can mark downtime reasons in the system as being reassignable. So reassignable simply means we want to prompt the operator to tell us what was the issue here. So here we're getting a vague alarm like machine stopped. That could be an operator pressing something like an E-stop button or a guard door open or something like that. You're able to reassign it here and there to say, look, okay, you know, this machine stop was actually a table alarms issue. So all I have to do is click table alarms. That will replace, and it says reassignment is complete down here. Let's change it to table alarms. And when that downtime then closes, that will be filed away as table alarms. If there is a machine, so that reason is marked as reassignable. If you get a reassignable reason coming into the system and the operator is trying to fix it and they don't get a chance to reassign it here with these quick restart buttons, by the way, you can have multiple restart buttons over here. If they haven't reassigned it by the time the line has restarted, so I'm just going to say, pretend that this is up to 18 minutes, for example, we're going to restart this line and the machine stop alarm is going to clear. What will happen is that alarm, because it was not reassigned, but it's been marked as reassignable, appears on the right hand side over here for reassignment. So there you can see we were down, say, for 20 minutes, and now we're asking the operator to reassign that downtime to what the true root cause was. So the operator will go in here, they can change the time, and they can go down here again and say, no, I want to change that reason. It's because we had to go, we went on break, and we took a short break. Save that, and that will now log into this, now being reassigned, and it's now gone into the short break. To show that, I can go across again to my downtime detail log, and I should see that my I should see here my different downtimes gone in there. So I think probably on page 2, short break. Okay. So that's the order detail screen, the search screen, and the Plantwatch screen.